Good morning and welcome to a special edition of NBA Morning Scoreboard presented by Pacers Time Podcast. Every Saturday we have the special playoff edition. First we're going to start off with the scores like normal. Last night in DC, the Pacers got the 22-point win, 85-63. Stars in that game: Paul George, 23 points, 8 rebounds. He had a good game. Roy Hibbert stepped up again, 14 points. He shot 6 for 9 and had 5 rebounds. And off the bench, Luis Scola, 11 points. David West was able to put up 12 also for the Pacers. For the Wizards, Trevor Ariza had 12 points. Bradley Beal had 16. John Wall was able to put up 15. But that was about it. It wasn't a good night for the guys in the post, but later on in the game, Indiana was able to make it work. Last night also, this time in LA, Thunder take the 6-point win, 118-112. They take a 2-1 lead against the Clippers in the series. Kevin Durant, 14 for 24. He had 36 points, 8 rebounds. Russell Westbrook, another really good game, 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 13 assists. Somebody else that also stepped up, Serge Ibaka, 20 points. He shot 9 for 10. He had a great game, and Reggie Jackson and Caron Butler both put up 14 points. For the Clippers, Blake Griffin, 34 points. He shot 13 for 22. Matt Barnes was able to put up 14 points. Chris Paul, 21 points. And Jamal Crawford, coming off the bench, had 20 points. So, that was it for last night. We'll cover some of the bigger stories of this playoff so far. And with this second round, it's been Roy Hibbert. The Pacers are starting to play like the team we saw earlier in the year. He's getting a whole lot better. We saw just a couple nights ago, on Wednesday, Roy Hibbert, 28 points and 9 rebounds. Then you look at last night. Not as much. He started off the game with the first 2 points, and then he really kind of cooled off for most of the game. And then when the Pacers made that last surge to kind of get ahead and start this 22-point rally, Roy was there. 14 points and 5 rebounds. So really, 42 points, 14 rebounds in the last 2 games. This is the Roy Hibbert that the Pacers need. Now, what is falling apart for the Wizards? The post. When Indiana gets that good post going, and last night, not to mention David West put up 12 points. So David West was also there. And the game before, on Wednesday, David West wasn't really there, and Gortat was able to put up 21, Nene was able to put up 14. But I also remind you that in this series, the Pacers have not been putting up that many points. Last night it was 85, night before 86, and then the first game 96. Not a whole lot of points being scored this series, but I think that the Pacers can get through this and they will win this series. On down to Oklahoma City and the Clippers. This series, I think, is starting to turn towards Oklahoma City. Kevin Durant is playing extremely good basketball. Russell Westbrook has been getting triple doubles. He's been playing amazing. And last night you saw other guys step up, like Caron Butler and Reggie Jackson and Serge Ibaka. You never really see Ibaka do all that well. He's usually there for the rebounds and as a defensive presence, but he was able to put up points last night, and that's a reason why the Thunder won. And I think with the Clippers, they still look great. Blake Griffin had 34 points. Chris Paul had 21. He was able to put up 16 assists. DeAndre Jordan grabbed 11 rebounds. He had 10 points. He had a double-double. But it's just Kevin Durant can make better plays, and he's able to get to the bucket more, and he's able to score just those extra 2 or 3 points. Blake Griffin played 42 minutes. Kevin Durant was out there for 45 minutes. It's also just that presence of that player can often create problems with the offense of the Clippers. Just him being out there, they know that they don't want to have that matchup between somebody like Matt Barnes and Kevin Durant. Well, Blake Griffin isn't out there, but for most of the night, Griffin was out there. But for those just 3 minutes, those 3 minutes could cost him the whole entire game. Danny Granger had 3 minutes and 3 points. Do you really want Danny Granger on Kevin Durant? Is that really going to work? The answer is no. I think the Thunder are just going to overpower the Clippers here, and they're going to move on to play the Spurs. Tonight, you look at it, 10:30 on ESPN, Spurs and Blazers. It's all Spurs. They're playing absolutely amazing basketball. You look kind of deeper onto their bench. Guys like Boris Diaw or Zhao, I don't know how they're pronouncing it these days. It changes all the time. But he had 12 points. Marco Bellinelli put up 13. Manu Ginobili, coming off the bench, has done an amazing job. 16 points. That was in their last game. And then in the previous game, game number 1, Bellinelli, 19 points. Aaron Bays, he did a great job. 10 points. That one was kind of all Tony Parker, but you just look at the overall production, and it's really just a team effort. And you saw in the last game, Thiago Splitter put up 10 points. Tim Duncan, 10 points. Kawhi Leonard, 20 points. Danny Green, 8 points. And we're not going to forget the most important stat. Tony Parker, 10 assists. And Thiago Splitter with 10 rebounds. Thiago Splitter right now is going to be the guy that's going to make or break this series. Because you have the Portland Trailblazers and LaMarcus Aldridge last series. He played amazing. He played amazing against the Rockets. And in that last game, 10 rebounds, 16 points. Against the Rockets, he was getting close to 20 rebounds and scoring 30 points. This is a different series. The Blazers, in my eyes, they don't have a chance. If they lose this game 3, they're done. Also, this evening at 8 p.m. on ABC, the Heat and the Nets. This one's kind of more of the same. It's been all the Nets, but it's been all the Heat were playing in Brooklyn, and I really thought that the Nets would come in here and pose a threat against the Heat. The Nets were undefeated against the Heat all season long. What is changing now? We see Ray Allen. He's played absolutely amazing in this series. He's able to hit shots, and then you look at Paul Pierce. He hasn't been able to do much. Darren Williams, he's been shut down. He scored 0 points in the last game. 0. That's unacceptable. There's no way that the Nets are going to win if Darren Williams isn't even scoring. Kevin Garnett's been playing, 2 minutes? Hasn't even been scoring at all. Little production. They have to be able to change the way they play. They have to go back. It seems like they were hardwired on how they played the Raptors. Well, now this is a new team. This is the Heat. You got to go back to earlier in the season when you were playing the Heat. What did you do to win? It almost seems like Jason Kidd is just kind of throwing in the towel a little bit too early. I think there's still some time that they could make a run towards the end of games, and he just throws it in. This is a very important game. Very important game. If the Heat win this game, the series is over. If the Nets win this game, I think the Nets honestly can go and win the series. They win tonight's game. They win Monday's game. Head into Miami. They might drop a game in Miami, but then they come back home. Game 6. I think that the Nets have a chance at winning this series in Game 6. Mark my word. The Nets can and are still in this series. That's all I got for you today. Broke down the playoff series there. Next is the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. But first, we got to see how this week pans out. I thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.